every single time. It's like a march of the duelists that are going in to compete for the title of the Yu-Gi-Oh! Champion of Bologna.
It is. It really is. By the way, of course, mission title defense still out on the field because Joshua Schmidt still involved here in this top 32. But for now, we're going to focus on Davide versus Sasha and what they're going to do here with their respective Tenpai and Fiendsmith Chimera decks.
And Sasha already does not look happy about this situation, seeing the Frightfur patchwork, knowing, hey, there could be some illusion monsters that are going to cause trouble in the battle phase. The battle phase.
And there is a really good normal summon. The Mirror Sword Side, basically the normal summon you want. And Sasha, does he have a response to that? Ash Blossom or Dominus Impulse would be multiple ways to stop that, but there is none of them. And there is now the Gazelle on the field.
Oh, okay.
Does it get answered in any way? Oh, so importantly enough to notice is we can't really use Effect Veil or Infinite Impermanence on the Mirror Sword Side as it's a quick effect, but now the Gazelle is not a quick effect anymore, but just an effect on the summon, so that Impermanence was rightfully held for the Gazelle, and now that's not going to resolve.
And there is no Chimera Fusion being changed with it, because this is a dangerous game that you're playing, throwing Effect Veiler or Infinite Impermanence onto the Gazelle. However, there is a little tell that the fusion isn't in hand when the Gazelle is summoned, but now we know that there is of course also polymerization and the edge impact.
Oh, so, and there's not only polymerization, but there's also dark fusion. The OG Leo, you must love that, right? It's because that era is your era, basically.
Avian and Burst Tinatrix on the broadcast.
Holding hands together, and we're using not only the Gazelle, but also the Edgem Chain from our hand. But I mean, it works as a regular polymerization kind of, right?
We could have just used the regular polymerization and not told our opponent that we have the Dark Fusion in hand.
All right, and we do go for a fusion summon of the Baphomet, the mythical king of Phantom Beasts, which will allow us to send one illusion or beast monster, whichever we prefer, from the deck to the graveyard. And also we're resolving the Edgem Chain, searching us another fight for Patchwork, of course.
I'm gonna say this illusion theme has aged incredibly well, because when it came out first, it was like a roguish deck. Nobody really cared too much for it. It was very cool to see how the resource gaming goes on and how niche the interactions of the deck are. It was very difficult to play against it because there were always like 6 or 7 effects, niche little effects that you had to take care of. And now the deck has just been really a constant threat in multiple metas.
Yeah, for sure. And look at that. We did, in fact, send the Evil Hero Sinister Necrom to the graveyard, which was immediately banished to bring out the good old Adjusted Gold. Evil Hero Adjusted Gold on the field. What year is it once again? And there's only one reason why you do that, because that Evil Hero Adjusted Gold, guess what? It's a Light Fiend monster, immediately being linked off of Fiendsmith Requiem.
Then we have Lacrima. I feel like I've seen this before somewhere.
This card is making an impact, right? Maybe people didn't anticipate this card to be like one of the most impactful ones from the most recent sets, but it's putting up a show here this weekend, the Lacrima.
I mean, it gives engraver in the graveyard, which is very strong.
And it's just like, initially people thought it was just going to be another Light Fiend body so that you have an easier time using your sequence. But now it's just like a big important combo piece, and it enables the Fiendsmith decks to go for the Fiendsmith trap as well. You basically see it everywhere. Having another Light Fiend body in the graveyard is incredibly impactful.
Yeah. And actually with the Dark Fusion sequence, we did not only get the chance to send the Sinister Necrom to the graveyard, but also because we used the Gazelle as fusion material, we got to search out the Nightmare Apprentice, which then special summoned itself out as another monster and giving us another ability and chance to search. So we just keep on going here. That Impermanence looked good initially, but that Chimera deck is just one of those decks that can keep on pushing with so many more different scenarios and chances in the hand here. And we search another Mirror Sword Side now, basically just for follow-up.
And we get a draw.
But we get a draw for the Necrocrypt Princess, indeed. And
I'm curious to see what David will end on his field, because he probably knows it is against Tenpai. So I wonder if he has anything spicy, like Snake Eyes has Fucho, for example, if it is something relevant against the matchup.
I think Davide has something that is very relevant. One of the most prestigious illusion monsters that are around, that is also, for example, played in my favorite Memento deck, is the Bells, the original Sin Keeper, and he's running that in the main deck. So that is quite the tech you can have in the Tenpai matchup, because them not being able to activate cards like Lightning Storm and so on will be a huge impact if he gets there.
Would you take that Nibiru challenge if you were against Tenpai? I mean, probably they are running Impulse, so you can extend a lot without fearing Nibiru.
100%. If you ask me, I think against Tenpai, I'm always playing into Nibiru at the moment.
Yeah.
For sure.
I mean, there's also still always the chance that they just play field-breaking cards and no hand traps at all. And then you're better off with a protected field that is big. Also, I think, looking at the 2 level 6 monsters, a Wave King Caesar would also be good if you get another Engraver onto the field, which is always a possibility.
For sure. So Larry coming back now. And one card that I actually like the decision of running that from Sasha. And Leo, I know you're a big fan of the card as well, since day one basically. But he's running the Fantastica Dragon Phantasma. But so far 0 Link summons. But oh wait, there was Requiem, right? He did.
There's a sequence.
There is a sequence now, yeah. But I think hold on, there he is. Look at that. So
there we go.
We have the Phantasma being activated here, but quite naturally this card against a fusion-orientated deck is not going to be massively important. I think Sasha right now is just happy that he gets any chance to activate it, basically, and not misses out on it completely. I
mean, I'm gonna be honest, the card is absolutely huge against every single deck that you can resolve it. It is an immediate +1, it can fix your hand, you draw 2 cards, and you can choose which one to put back, and it protects something of yours from targeting effects. Phantasma Resolve is a huge step towards winning a game when you're going second.
And it's also a dragon, which is very important.
Yep. It is also a dragon, that is also absolutely true.
Indeed it is. But then it's interesting to see, because he did summon Fiends with Sequence, right? Yeah. I'm not making this up, so it's interesting to see that he waited for... No, sorry, Requiem. He summoned the Fiends with Requiem before that as well, so it's interesting. Yeah, look, it's in the graveyard. So it's interesting to see that Sasha decided to wait for one more step for the sequence, maybe hoping that there would be a second Link monster on the field somehow.
If Requiem is being chained, then there is no Link monster on the field anymore.
Okay. But then you're still making a +1, right?
Yeah, but he probably wanted to see 2 cards from his deck.
Fair, yeah, I can see that. That's a very reasonable approach. Leo double checking for the first time ever, realizing, yeah, Phantasma can just draw 1 card and not shuffle back any. That's a possible scenario.
Yeah. Oh, wow.
Yeah. I thought you, as Phantasma believer #1, would have known that, my friend.
Wait, I'm utterly confused right now.
Yeah, just when Phantasma is resolving, it's checking the Link monsters on the field, basically. So if there's none left anymore, you still get to draw a card, but you just don't have to shuffle any back.
You can activate Phantasma, chain Nibiru.
That works,
True,
yeah. That absolutely works.
But I mean, it's way cooler to draw 2 cards, right?
Yeah. I mean, drawing more cards is always better. One of the most basic principles of Yu-Gi-Oh, right? Drawing more is better. Pot of Greed is better than Upstart Goblin, so we will go with the 2 drawn cards here.
And I mean, Sasha is at top 32 of the YCS. I'm sure that he knows what he's doing.
Yes, clearly he does. So, what do we have next here? We have brought out the Desiree. Sequence still on the field, probably going to be equipped to it eventually. We do also now still have 2 level 6 Fiend monsters on the field, so Caesar should be an easy thing to go into.
Can I have a salad, please? Yes, of course I'll take the Caesars.
And there is your service. To your service, Leo. Davide brings out the Caesar. Just for you. The only issue of Caesar is how many attack points does it have?
2,800.
Oh, I mean, then it's not an issue at all. Yeah, it's bigger than the Phantasma easily.
And now I activate Polymerization, and the question is, okay, we're just going for a regular fusion with 2 monsters here. I want to see some Guardian Chimeras. Oh.
Magnum now as well. Double checking whether attack or defense position. It's going to be the attack position. Such a crazy and long turn here from Davide, right? Like, it seems like it's never stopping. The entire turn is just, he keeps on going and going and going. And Sasha just did 1 Impermanence and then the 1 Phantasma. But don't be fooled. If there is one deck in the entire format that can just make very little, very much out of very little, it is Tenpai. Just activate the field spell, normal summon one of your Fire Dragon monsters, and all that field might be for nothing and gone in a minute.
To be fair, the field spell protects in the main phase, and that is so good about the Caesar that you can just, whenever you want, negate the summon of a monster. So Caesar, I think, is one of the best interruptions versus Tenpai.
Yeah, I agree. But maybe then we just go for a Black Rose Dragon protected under the field spell or something. We can see some things happening here. But we, of course, need to get to that point. Overall, I think... what is your take? I think... Oh, there's a Druid Swarm now as well. Apparently we picked that up, but there, of course, is also VCs now immediately to answer it.
So many dragons, and of course you want to destroy it in hand, because then it won't trigger, because the graveyard effect is only activated when it leaves the field.
Indeed, and as far as I'm concerned, I did not see Diabels, right?
No.
Diabels has not found its way into the graveyard. Maybe there is a way to get it into the graveyard on the opponent's turn, but we will have to see.
But I mean, at least you have illusion monsters on the field, so that's already a good thing. And you have the Gazelle-ish fusions in play, so even if there is going to be a protected Black Rose Dragon to destroy the entire field, you have the option to just summon something from the graveyard back that can't be destroyed by battle. So it is going to give Tenpai a run for its money, no matter what happens.
Chimera Fusion added off of the Gazelle, this time
And
allowed to resolve.
phase?
I think that must be the draw phase immediately, yeah, you're right.
I wonder... Oh yeah, of course, you want the Mirror Thought side in the graveyard, right?
I do believe so. Anything else? All 5 monster zones occupied on Davida's side. Main phase it is.
This is the scary part.
We love that! Quite easy and simple. Winning the European Championship not too long ago. Activating Raigeki. Trying to destroy the entire 5 monsters. And there's the Forbidden Jump on top of it! So we want to negate it with the Desiree. But none of that Sasha is having. So all these monsters that Davide here worked for over 10 minutes are going to be gone in a heartbeat.
I love how Tenpai is just watching the entire time, just chilling basically, and then going, okay, so you have done 20 different steps. How about a Raigeki?
Yeah,
it's
and
very
then Shane
important.
Droplet.
Droplet that sends to Raigeki, since if he leaves the field, your Desiree cannot negate it anymore.
Yeah. That is true. The Desiree probably got negated with it
Oh,
anyways.
no, but summon Hydra!
So
It is
big.
resolving! Are we really about to witness a crazy journey by Sasha in a heartbeat, just turning this thing around?
I wouldn't underestimate the set card though.
Yeah.
That's true. What could it be?
I think there is still the Before Mate in the graveyard, right? So let's see if we can in the game through that. I mean, there's Quibalt, so there is different options that you're having to play through this.
Chandra now. Anything from Davide? He's checking his graveyard. And we're going to Synchro Summon, I'm pretty sure. Still in the main phase, as far as I'm aware. We go for Biden Dragon, try to bring back Vip Hydra. Also,
Was that still in
is
the main
going to
phase?
be
I think
fine.
Sunken Kaiman was activated in the... Oh yeah, you could just special summon the Chandra, fair enough.
I don't think... Did we activate the Sunken Kaiman for...
Wasn't it in the graveyard?
I don't think so.
No, we just added it and then we had the Chandra as well, I'm pretty
Am
sure.
I hallucinating?
You might be, wouldn't be surprised, but you might also be right.
Someone pinch me.
We're going to find out in a second, because as soon as Sasha activates that last card in hand and there is a Sangen Kaiman, Davide might be in trouble. All of that, by the way, happening without the Sangen summoning, interestingly enough, because usually that field spell is going to be up there.
Yeah.
Usually that's the reason why Tenpai is allowed to do it all that easily. But here, it's not even needed this far. Oh. What's that though? Oh,
the Super Volley.
Find the answer! We're striking back and forth here. Super Polarization, discarding another copy. So we're just eliminating fields left and right here. And now it's looking better for Davide again, because only 1 card left in hand for Sasha.
We are fusion summoning so hard right now. The Garura in defense position now. Sangen Kaiman is being activated.
Of course,
I
last
assume-
card in hand,
Yeah.
Sangen Kaiman might still be enough here, honestly.
I think Chandra hasn't been activated. It was Fadra, of course. Fadra can now go for a rebound from the graveyard, so we're definitely going to be able to go for 3 attacks at least, so the Biden Dragon can summon itself back as well. So we're still in this. Tenpai can do very much with very little. Going to activate the effect, getting back the Chandra. Chandra is going to attack into the Garura as well. We don't take any damage anymore. Or do we actually still take the Hydra isn't there, right?
Damage.
Yep. but that is probably not really that important.
Is it double damage from Garura?
It is probably double damage from Garura, yeah. It's a fact that the double damage is always going to be applied. Interesting decision, by the way, from Davide to wait for the Bident to be used for super polymerization, because he could have just fused away the Pydra and the Chandra, and then the Bident wouldn't be in the graveyard, because right now there's actually a resourceful card to have in the graveyard. There we see it, third attack being declared, so Bident can now be used in the graveyard, and that's just an additional monster to attack with.
I think he just waited in case that Sasha would enter battle phase, and he just passed priority, and then Sasha entered battle phase.
Fair, yeah, that's a good point. But then he realized, ooh, he might just be going into the Transcendent Dragon, and then my super polymerization is not going to do a whole lot anymore. So we are just going to attack now. Bident Dragon.
2,600 attack points is going to be enough to destroy the Garura during the battle, and I don't think that any of the fusion synchro effects have been used so far. Sasha has everything going for him right now, and I think that the only thing that Davide has is the Baphomet in the graveyard.
Yeah, and I mean, he needs to use it carefully, right? Because every synchro summon from here on now could just be the Transcendent Dragon, and when that Transcendent Dragon then on the field, they cannot use the graveyard effect to do it anymore. So we may have to plan ahead, just anticipate whether he wants to summon out the Transcendent Dragon. Oh, look, there's Pydra activating. This could mean Transcendent, I'm just saying. So if you want to do something better, do it now. Right? Yeah, I think so.
So, okay, Davide actually does respond. What could happen now is that you just immediately try to go into some removal.
Let's see. I mean, the thing is, we can still just chain our other Tenpai monsters to synchro summon. So even if this one doesn't successfully resolve, we can just... Okay, but we are...
I mean, the synchro summon is always going to resolve, but you don't get the Transcendent onto the field before an illusion monster is being summoned.
There's just the Necrom now, coming back to the field. Evil heroes. What a time to be alive. Here in top 32 of the YCS in Bologna.
It's actually a Fiend monster. That's not even an illusion that can't be destroyed by battle.
Yeah, I don't think this one is going to hinder us too much.
Baphomet can summon back illusions, right?
Baphomet can only summon back banished monsters, though. I think that's the issue here at that point. So it was the only legitimate card that we could bring out. So we did, at the right time, go for that. Oh, but look at that. We go for Ruddy Rose Dragon. That has been a while since I've seen this card being used by a Tenpai player. But that effect here, and you see how many cards Davide currently is holding in his hand. And that's his graveyard. And that graveyard is going to be gone in a moment.
But does that mean that we won't win the game this turn?
Possibly, yeah. Maybe we're just trying to eliminate all the resources that Davide has. And look at that, we're banishing all of them. Ruddy Rose without a problem resolving here.
Now Ruddy Rose is going to attack over Necrom or the Garura, and your graveyard is gone as well, my friend.
Okay. Necrom gone.
Do we even get rid of the Garura?
He actually switched the banished zone with the graveyard, because the hero was banished.
True. That's cool, yeah.
Very much so, you're right. Oh, okay, we just go into the main phase 2. We leave the Garura out there, so we can just bring it back to the extra deck potentially with the effect of Seals. And yeah, sometimes Tenpai does not do it all in one turn, but it still turns out to be enough most of the time. So is this Seals going to be the card he needs here to win after that impactful and impressive Ruddy Rose Dragon?
So Ruddy Rose Dragon has another secret effect, the second one, and that means... Actually, Basti, do you know it?
I don't actually. What is it?
If your opponent activates a card that would destroy cards like a Dark Hole, you can negate it and tribute it to negate the activation.
Okay, that's fairly good.
I think it's special summons also, right?
Is that so? Your opponent activates a card effect that will destroy a card. Oh yeah, then you can special summon a Black Rose Dragon. But
which he does play, in fact, funnily enough.
No, it doesn't trigger.
Yeah, triggers only on Synchro Summon, but it's a body.
Yeah, absolutely. So, Davide now confronted with a new situation, but still with the Mirror Sword Side, which I think we searched last turn for follow-up already. And that's a good start, because, I mean, we could activate the Seals here, and that would lead to the monster summoned out. Yeah, they either chain it or they don't, and when they chain it, you can just get the monster they summon out to the hand. Don't know whether that's too good, though.
No, you resolve. Oh, no, yeah, true. No, you resolve first.
Yeah, so, but then the monster gets to the field, but it can't activate on the field, you know what I mean?
Yeah, Seal is a very good option.
So you would get the cornfield then, but then they bounce Garura. Oh, it's a good choice, yeah.
Okay, we do give the Mirror Sword side back to the hand, so usually this card is very good at playing around those kind of effects by it being a quick effect, but Seal's not targeting here is the important part and is the reason why this resolved in this way.
So now I assume that we're going to summon either a Pydra to search for the Sangan summoning or another follow-up Sangan Kaiman, or we're actually maybe going to go for a Bestial Magnamut to later on.
Or a Fadra.
Oh, look,
we'll go for the
Magnamut.
To be more flexible, to search what we need in the end phase and not determine that we need to search for a Sangan spell or trap card.
Absolutely. So Davide, does he have anything else to offer besides that normal summon that he has now already committed into? 2 more cards in hand next to Mirror Swords Knight. And is there something he can do? He's considering his extra deck. Is he running Typhon by any chance? Let me double check that.
I mean, you can attack with the Garura into the Ruddy Rose and fish for a draw.
Yeah, at the very least you could do that. There's no Typhon, by the way, in his extra deck, so... Oh, but is there... Oh, there's still the Fusion, right? Oh, wow! We have the Nightmare Apprentice. That's a huge card. Just getting the Mirror Sword Slide into the graveyard anyways by discarding it, special summoning itself out, and now having the ability to use its incredible on-summon effect to give us even more cards. For example, this Cornfield Codal that he just fetched out there.
How much does it do, though? I mean, you can go for a rank 6 play here.
Yeah, Beatrice would be a good option if it would still be allowed, but that is of course not the case anymore.
You can also go for the Fiendsmith engine here.
Yeah, always. That door is always open there.
We are playing Moon, right?
We are, in fact... I mean, you're playing so many Light Fiends in this deck, or you have a special way to get to it, so there is no Moon in there.
Maybe the main deck monsters of the Fiendsmith deck are already banished?
Yeah, so maybe that route indeed is not open anymore.
Ruddy Rose really did some work here.
Yeah, for sure. All the resources gone. And I mean, not to be disregarded right now, the fact that Ruddy Rose also just has 3,200 attack points. Like, if you want to attack over it, you gotta summon out a monster with some stats. And I don't see that happening too quickly
and
here.
You can't just pop it.
Yeah, exactly.
Because it has the secret effect. I wonder if Davide has read it carefully.
Surely. In top 32 in a featured match like that, you are going to read every single card, but there also is a Chimera Fusion now. He's using the Garura. Oh, look. It's coming.
Oh, no, wait. Oh, he can chain block it. He can chain block a Guardian Chimera that he wants to summon with the Garura on Chain Link 2, and that is so big. Drawing a card, destroying 2 cards, drawing another card. Also having the Gazelle in the graveyard that is going to trigger after it has been used for a fusion summon.
And it's very important that you first draw and then destroy, so you can decide which cards you can destroy.
Yeah.
This is massive. This Guardian Chimera is going to turn this around. And yeah, we completely disregarded the fact that he would just easily be able to use it as Chainlink 1, Chainlink 2, and therefore the Ruddy Rose Dragon would have been a nice interaction if there was no effects activating in the graveyard. But there's not only Garura, but also the Gazelle now triggering. So, drawing 2 cards, destroying both monsters.
Ruddy Rose, you were almost so good in this situation, but unfortunately, chain blocking is a real thing.
Okay, direct attack of Guardian Chimera. And I understand if Zasha doesn't say, hey, I can just go next game, because there's always 1-card scenarios for Tenpai. Just a singular Sangan Kaiman, just a singular Chandra, and actually the effect at end phase of Magnamut, so we're still very much alive, because Genroku is already there.
Yep,
Probably to summon Fadra in order to summon Sunra from the graveyard.
Do we even play either of those? Yeah. That is so good because we still haven't used the Sangan summoning in last turn. So if we want to summon another Pydra, next turn we can activate the effect, because this is still all in end phase. Genroku was added to the hand by Magnamut, thus it was able to trigger and summon itself, and then quick effect, Lone Fire Blossom, as we like to call it, out a Pydra.
That's true. And now another card picked up for turn. It's incredible to see how Tenpai still goes strong and fights here in this game, right? Because a lot of people have a misconception about the Tenpai Dragon strategy, that it's a deck that can only win on the second turn and there's no other way to win with this deck. But Sasha right now is proving us all that that's absolutely not the case. You can actually just grind with your opponent. It can create very unique and interesting game states, and we are in one of those right now.
Chandra is being summoned out, and we put it directly onto the field. I wonder if we are in battle phase or if we just added it to hand and called it a special summon here because we're controlling the Hydra.
Yeah, we're in battle phase.
Yeah.
We are in battle phase
Hydra
indeed.
was just announced. That means there is a battle phase. We're going to go for a level 7 synchro here. And I'm curious to see what we're going into. If we're going to just another Biden Dragion because the previous one is already banished. What do we have in the graveyard?
We don't have Hydra.
Oh, we have the Fadra in the graveyard.
He probably plays only one. That's why he never summoned from the deck.
I was just curious if Ruddy Rose might have banished it before. So now you can summon back the Hydra and actually get the Sangan Summoning from your deck to your hand as well.
Not only to your hand, you can set the Sangan Summoning, which is crucially important for potential Trident Dragion lines. And I think Trident Dragion, one of the strongest dragons in the entire game, might be the one that it comes down to here in this one as well.
I did not see that coming, that this one becomes one of the strongest dragons in the game.
I mean, it was previously, it just returned to the main stage, right?
Trident Dragion to the main stage, please.
Okay, we do bring back Hydra. This turn we have not activated the effect of Hydra yet. We have activated the effect to Synchro Summon, but not to Search yet. So Sangan Summoning. All of that so far without that also powerful field spell, but now it is on the field. Even though set, it still would be able to activate its Graveyard Effect. The Graveyard Effect of Sangan Summoning, if you don't know what that is doing, when it gets destroyed in the battle phase, you can just double, yes, I repeat, double the attack points of one of your Synchro Dragons.
Can actually be activated if it is in the banishment also.
Oh yeah, true. That's absolutely true. It works under Shifter. And there we go. Trident Dragion has joined the conversation with using its effect, destroying the Fadra and the Sangan Summoning, so the attack points are doubled. Book of the Clifford! Who said that Trident Dragion? The plan was clear, the game was ahead of it, but the game goes to Davide instead! Davide up a game on Sasha. And now the interesting part, is Sasha going to decide to go first or second? Because the matchup is not that great, and I feel like Sasha is actually announcing phases and we're normal summoning the Chimera Drago that we brought in from our side deck. Another set card being added. This is tough, honestly.
2008 is calling it once its normal summons back.
Yeah, revealing a Chandra in the end phase, which is what Chimera Drago has to do. Always you gotta reveal a dragon in the end phase. So Sasha immediately shows as well, there is something I can do next turn. So you better do something about this now, otherwise Chandra is there to work next turn.
I love the fact that we showcase a Time of Wizard format right now.
Yeah, look at this classic opening. This is Chimera Drag set 2. And honestly, look at how beautiful this card is.
Oh, but I mean, we saw that Davide is playing answers to this, right? Book of Eclipse immediately would deal with this. First of all, though, Frightful Patchwork is being activated.
Okay, what attributes do we have in our extra deck? Or do we want to call it Fusion deck at this point? No, there is also Link Monsters, of course.
Okay,
what
so
do we
we're
have
searching
there?
for a Dark Monster here. But let me see. I mean, Aerial Eater, funnily enough, is a wind monster if we do have the chance.
Isn't it only like
to go
1/8 attack?
It is 2100,
2100, that's enough.
which would be enough technically to attack over it. And then the Baphomet, probably even easier to summon, another wind monster. So maybe the Chimera Drago not even as impactful, because the list goes on. Chimera, the king of Phantom Beasts, they're all wind monsters.
Oh, wow.
I think most of the fusions are wind to be...
Yeah, for sure. And what is coming here? So are we activating a fusion spell, possibly? When Sasha sees that there is a fusion spell activated, he probably is already scared because he was trying to rule that out completely. Or we can just normal summon out, of course, the Mirror Swords Knight using its effect. Mirror Swords Knight, by the way, would have already been big enough to double with the Chimera Drago, but there is Dominus Impulse coming down from... Oh no! Oh, Sasha tried to use it from the hand.
There is no monster on the field, and you can only activate Dominus Impulse from the hand if there is a monster on the field.
A card to be specific, but yeah, still, that is not the case anymore.
That is big.
Oh my, Sasha.
What a cool mechanic for Chimera to play around this card.
Indeed it is.
And we should also note that Chimera will not be negated, since Impulse prevents the player from activating the effects.
Yeah,
and Chimera doesn't activate.
So, going into the deck, Davide now knowing that there is an impulse as well. So, yeah, there's possible fusion summons. We were just talking about there's multiple wind extra deck monsters, wind fusion monsters, all those fusion spells might just be met with the Impulse Van immediately. So
honestly, that might even help Sasha. Like, do you not want to just impulse a fusion effect? So that your opponent isn't going to get like one of those big monsters out that run over the Chimera.
I agree. That might be actually favorable for them.
But I mean, now we have 2 fusion spells already.
Yeah.
So, and he knew that, of course. He knew that there was a polymerization if he let the Mirror Sword Knight go through. I don't know why I always want to call it Sword Shield Knight. Mirror Sword Knight go through. Chimera Fusion is going to be added to the hand as well. So it's a tough spot here for Sasha already.
There is the Chimera Fusion. Sasha, is that the moment you want to use the Impulse? I mean, you have already revealed it, so you may as well now decide to use it. And in fact, we do that, activating Dominus Impulse on the Chimera Fusion, negating it.
Okay, cool, says Davide, and now he looks at the polymerization in his head and the 5 other cards that are there, because this deck always pluses. And now we have another set card. The Rivalry of Warlords is coming in here, and now Davide has to check.
Is there even a way to resolve this? This is interesting. Gazelle is a... Oh yeah, true, it's about the types. Gazelle is a beast. So, that's going to be tough, actually. We have Berthmund being
Look at this card, what we're having. We have Guardian Chimera as a beast.
Yeah, true, but that's a dark which you can't summon. But I think Chimera, if we have Chimera the King of Phantom Beasts, that in fact would be a beast, but now we do need a beast monster plus a fiend monster to summon that out. Do we have a fiend monster in our hand?
Yeah, the Edgem Saber.
We do have the Edgem Chain in our hand, yeah. So, yeah, I think there's Engraver as well. Oh no, it's the Edgem Chain. And Sasha has to realize now, he probably wasn't sure himself, that there is a way to still perform a fusion summon to get out a monster bigger than the Chimera Drago, and that is going to be the Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts, which now even in the end phase would be able to discard a hand from Sasha's discard a card from Sasha's hand, but
there's only one
infinite impermanence there. Okay.
Yeah, but still, you're going to be able to get rid of the Drago. And then, now that you have the Chimera, the King of Phantom Beasts on the field, which counts as the Baphomet, or the Gazelle, or the fusion of those, you know what I mean. You can add back the Chimera fusion from hand.
That would be great, but don't forget infinite impermanence is just negating it, so that's not the case anymore. It's not treated as those anymore. So adding back the fusion would not be possible at that point. Right, for Patchwork now being added to the hand.
Is this something you can negate?
I'm pretty sure it is, yeah. So, next up on the list, we're going to search not only the Patchwork, but also the Cornfield Codal.
Cornfield Codal would have been very nice to have in the graveyard already, so you can you can banish it to prevent the targeting effect of the infinite impermanence. I mean, you can get rid of the Drago, that is nice. We know that there is a dragon in hand for Sasha because he revealed it because of the Chimera Drago.
It is Chundra, actually.
Yeah, it is.
All right. Oh, there's super polymerization in hand for Davide as well, I think. Oh, is it regular polymerization? I don't know. Codal is going to be activated. And now Davide is carefully piloting around those floodgating effects, those Chimera Drago and the Rivalry of Warlords. He is being limited a lot here, but for a fact, he can attack over the Chimera Drago, and that's going to be fine for him.
Yeah, that is the most important and most crucial thing here at the moment. I mean, actually, like, you don't really necessarily want to draw the Drago normally, right? The plan usually is you side that in, you're playing Hieratic Seals in your extra deck, so you can just summon it out on your opponent's turn. But just drawing it, of course, it works as well, kinda. Upside is that it will be equipped with its original 1009 attack points and not 0/0 for seals. But that's going to be... Oh, that's a very clear indicator there, if you ask me. Setting... I mean, it might also be a bluff, of course. But that column there, occupied by Rivalry, and now also a set card on the Vita side, might, of course, indicate an impermanence also on the Vita side here.
So the Chandra is being normal summoned. Do you have anything for it? You are not longer locked into anything except for Darkened Light, or the other way around rather. So you could go for a Guardian Chimera. You have plenty of cards in hand. Go to the better phase now.
We are attacking.
It is also a beast.
Yeah.
So you can summon.
Yeah, meaning that there is still the restrictions.
Yeah, but you can summon the Guardian Chimera and get rid of the Chandra and the Rivalry after that. So that is a possibility, but we're letting this attack go through. And if you have a super polymerization, then you need the rivalry to go, because otherwise you can't get rid of the Hydra and the Chandra.
That's true, and I think if it would have been an Imperm, chances would have been big that we would have just activated it on the Chandra, to be fair. So that's possibly not the case. Chandra now just gets destroyed in that battle, actually. We let it crash into the Chimera, which is uncommon, honestly, but there is now the Sangan Kaiman next. Anything from Davide? He does have the Ash Blossom and Joy Spring to counter that.
And now the Hydra is just really sad.
Oh my, we pass it right back over. Davide's turn it is. And if it is still an impermanence, but he didn't feel the need to activate, then now the impermanence would be crazy, because on our own turn we would be able to negate the rivalry of the Warlords through it.
Regardless, he is 200 life points up. He gets back the Chimera Fusion immediately. 7 minutes left on the clock. It is looking splendid for Davide here. He can go for whatever fusion he likes to. As I said earlier, you can at this point go, oh, we're going to get even another Chimera Fusion. You can go for a Guardian Chimera here if you like.
Indeed you can. We are going to normal the Gazelle.
And to be honest, I saw David smiling when he drew for turn, so I believe that he has game actually.
Yeah, that's a bold statement. Davide trying to win this game this turn, maybe doesn't even want to rely on the timer. We didn't have too many timeout situations in this tournament, right?
That's true. We're having a pretty quick format at the moment. Pretty pretty simple, as you could say, but we're going to summon out the Guardian Chimera here. There it is, of course, being another beast attribute, as we have been saying, so we can summon out of the rivalry, and there it is, Davide 2-0, and there was the super